Page 38, Merrily We Roll Along. On page 37, they're introducing a new note for the left hand for you. In the written music, it's the bass clef, left hand. You'll see it in the written, in page 37 there, and the music goes across. It's in the second measure. It's the next to the bottom line. That is a B. It is right below the C, right here. It's a B. Got to know that note now too. So hopefully you know all these other notes, because now we're starting to add notes. Keep up. So that is a B. When we're playing it in this situation, what we're going to do is we're simply going to let the little finger go down, and the little finger is going to cover two notes now. It's going to cover these two notes. And we're introducing another chord, because you've had the C chord. Now they're introducing the G7 chord. And it's like I said, the majors implied. G major 7, well, G7 chord. I don't want to get into this too deeply yet. I will, as we progress through the book, I'll complete the picture so you really understand what's going on. Just right now, let's just focus on this. And what it is, they show it to you on page 37. It is a B, an F, and a G. These three notes. It's a three-note, actually it's a four-note chord. There's a D in it, but we're not using it. So here. We don't have to use all the notes in a chord, you know. So we have the C chord and the G7 chord. You should do these in both hands. Just let the thumb come down in the right hand. They'll introduce it in the right hand eventually, I'm sure, but right now, when I do chords like this, I just do them in both hands. Here, I don't care where the hands go, it doesn't matter. You can go here if you want. Those are two of the three, what we call primary chords in the key of C. You didn't understand any of that garbage. You will as we go through the book. We'll get there. These chords are kind of important. They're used a lot. And that's why they're introducing them here. So we have the C chord. Now we have the G7 chord in the left hand. Those are the notes there. You'll see the B and the F and the G together. You play them all at the same time. Okay. Now, on page 39, they're introducing a new symbol for you to learn and memorize and know from now on, and things just getting a little more interesting. Because this symbol, they showed at the top between two whole notes, is a curved line. It could be above the notes or below the notes. That doesn't matter. The fact is, in this case, it's between two notes. But this curved line can be used for like 4 different things or 5 different things in music, and sometimes trying to figure out which thing it's being used for is interesting. We'll take it slow and easy though. This is called a tie, and it's between two notes, only two notes, and they have to be the same note, the same key on the piano, the same note in the music. You can only tie two notes together at a time. See, we have a problem in music. Let's take 4/4 time. That's what we've been using, 4/4 time. 4 counts in a measure. Well, if that's the case, I can't have a note last longer than 4 counts, because that's as long as a measure lasts. I can't have a note that lasts 6 counts if I'm only allowed 4 counts in the measure. It doesn't work. So I need a way to extend it out, to make it last longer than the 4, and that's what ties do. That's one of the things ties do. Look at Merrily We Roll Along in the bottom staff there. You see the C chord here, left hand, and then in the next measure is another C chord. Well, you see there's 3 curved lines there. See, in a chord, when you tie a chord together, you have to tie every note in the chord, because if you don't tie a note, you have to play that note again while you hold the other notes down. And that'll happen sometimes. But here, they're tying all 3 notes together. It simply means you're going to play that C chord and hold it down for 2 measures. You're going to hold it down for 8 counts. And they could keep tying more chords to it, so you could hold it down for who knows how long. But it doesn't work well on piano because the sound fades away. But here, you just hold it down for 8 counts. And that's a tie. We'll get a lot of ties in music. Now let's look at Merrily We Roll Along. This is 2 lines long, treble and bass clef, 4/4 time. There's no repeat sign here. We'll just play it once. We got quarter notes, half notes, whole notes, tied notes. Okay, let's take it one hand at a time and make sure we got the notes and rhythms first. Right hand, you're starting 3 here. Put you in C position. And quarter notes. 3, 4. 3, 4. You get the idea? You go through and play it. Then the left hand, well, you got the chords. C chord, you're going to hold that down for 2 measures. The right hand will keep you entertained, don't worry about it. And then the next one is that G7 chord. You just lift up, and as you lift up, you're changing. Your little fingers coming down, and you're changing which fingers are down. So you get good at that. I'm lowering the hand each time. Here. G7 chord, and then the C chord. That's pretty much it for the left hand. Put the hands together. Here. Remember, the left hand was tied. We don't play it again. We're holding it down. Now we play it. 3, 4. 3, 4. Tie the left hand. Like so. And that's how ties work. So you go through and make sure you can play it okay, and then take out any hesitations you have. And you also should be able to play this without looking at the keyboard. Even though the left hand has to change a little bit, you need to feel that difference, and it's important. Then we add the dynamics. Well, it starts out medium loud, MF, mezzo forte, sort of loud. Whatever you think, sort of loud. Not loud, sort of loud. And that's the melody. These chords, keep them soft if you can. I know this is hard to do, and they even put a P down there. I don't need a P. I'm already telling you, keep it soft. Here. We want to hear the melody is what we want to hear. So, anything that isn't melody should be soft. That's the way it is. You get better at it in time. Just keep trying. Just keep at it. It may not come for a while yet, but just keep at it. Next, or the last piece we add would be the speed, and that is the merrily. Well, remember I said in a previous video, if it's a happy, fun, merrily's happy, I guess. I consider that sort of fast. Sort of fast. That's where you start, and then you can adjust it from there. It's not fast, but it's a happy. This, they don't get them to you, but there's words to it. It's a happy piece. Happy piece. Think happy. It's an order. Now, one more thing they're adding here, and I'll go ahead and point it out. Above the first measure, above the staff, below the merrily, there is a C with an asterisk. The asterisk means there's a footnote where you can look down to the bottom of the page. It's telling you chord symbols. In music, sometimes, not always, sometimes they tell you the chord. You're playing a C chord. The harmony you're hearing is a C chord. And then in the third measure, the harmony you're hearing is a G7 chord. C chord. And you stick with the same chord until they give you another one. The idea here is that if you have a guitar player around, somebody who plays guitar, they can read those chord names and improvise, and you can play together as a duet. Have some fun. It can be fun. Take my word for it, it can be fun. If you want. But you gotta learn it first. Now, please don't copy me. You read the music and you make it yours. I would prefer you attempt on your own before you listen to me or anybody else play it. Then you can listen to me or anybody else play it and compare what you've done and see where you are. I'd like to play it with you very slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do any dynamics. I'm going to do both hands about the same. So I just want to make sure you got the same note. You play the same note I play at the same time I'm playing it. That's what I'm after. And if it's confusing you, just do it with me one hand at a time for a bit if you need to. I'll give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go.